hit the like button
now. This morning, right? And we done went baby viral. And what I mean by that is all these blogs and hip hop sites have posted my comments about MC Hammer and why was Hammer snubbed from these hip hop celebrations and things of that nature. And what this is my message. Has hip hop failed us? And what I mean by that is the perpetuation of project poetry has gone worldwide, bigger than anybody can ever imagine. And so me in my existence of being able to say, here it is, starting from an artist to now being a serial business owner. I own a nightclub. I own a clothing store. I own nail shops. I own a museum. I own, they're a collective of the things that I've done with my platform from hip hop. And I owe that all to hip hop. But in other eyes of certain things, has hip hop failed us? Hip hop made us feel ashamed for liking Will Smith and for liking MC Hammer in times. Like another artist that is snubbed all the time. We never talk about Will Smith's contribution to hip hop. Will Smith is the first person to win a Grammy. This is a person, like, imagine if your children would have aspired to be like MC Hammer and Will Smith. Your own cartoon on Saturdays, your own the longest running syndicated show probably and arguably of anyone, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, arguably the biggest rap song ever. You say born and raised in Westfield and everybody will finish that. Imagine if our children would have aspired to be like those two and where hip hop could have went. The reason why the snubbing of MC Hammer is so critical to me, just based off the fact of being from Oakland, being somebody who grew up idolizing this guy, who realized that as a teenager, you couldn't publicly say, oh, I love MC Hammer without facing ridicule. In the infancy stages of everything that MC Hammer was doing, people weren't knowledgeable of that. And the quote unquote hip hop purists had no idea that hip hop could even go that far. So they never imagined that they take it that far. So when Hammer was doing a Mattel doll, when he was doing a McDonald's commercial, when he was, or was it Taco Bell? It was one of those. When he was doing all of this grand scheme marketing, nobody could even imagine that. So the curators of propaganda for New York media and everything, the East Coast bias or the hip hop purists who never could have seen anybody else taking it that far, began to put demerits next to his name. They began to put asterisks next to then you had other MCs who didn't have an ability to go as worldwide as this guy did, began shooting shots at him and dissing him, and everybody would diss him because of his success. It had nothing to do with people be like, Hammer was whack. Okay, what was whack about him? What was whack about a man going on tour, taking 200, 300 people that are coming from the hood on tour, changing their lives? What was whack about a man running baseball programs and Babe Ruth organizations that was giving people careers and so many athletes that made it to the next level started playing MC Hammer for Team MC Hammer baseball? What was whack about a person developing things in his community? What was whack about a person doing music, making songs, selling 10 million records? What was whack about a person who paid homage to everybody else that had came before him? What was whack about a person seeing James Brown get out of jail and said, man, come do this video for me? And in that video, he gave him a suitcase with $100,000 in the suitcase and said, get back, Godfather. What was whack about him being on Arsenio Hall every night? What was whack about him being doing everything that people couldn't fathom, on the sideline at the Atlanta Falcons games, sitting up with Deion Sanders, doing things that people nowadays, if you not doing, you not made it? What was whack about that? What was whack about being in movies? What was whack about having commercials? What was whack about having your own cartoon? What was whack about buying Ferraris and riding through and being a superstar? What was whack about that? What was whack about songs that say, let's get it started, and kicked off the parties and started the party? What was whack about that? What was whack about him getting the parties lit in a time where it was only whack because wasn't nobody else doing it? And my grandmother used to always tell me, the first get it worse. So when we sit back and we look at it and we say, we owe MC Hammer an apology. We owe Will Smith an apology. We owe these individuals an apology because hip hop made us turn our back on these individuals only because of their success. There was no other reason. You play Let's Get It Started and it's turn up. We wasn't in there trying to be the greatest lyricist. We wasn't on there trying. And He was pulling up on niggas like, what? What you said? You got a problem with me? What's up? And niggas didn't want that smoke. So it makes us say, it actually makes you interrogate how easily influenced you've been by media. To be able to call somebody whack because of their success. I'm whack because I was successful. He took hip hop to places nobody could ever imagine. And now, all of these years later, if you're not doing what he did then, they call you whack because you're not successful. So I think that hip hop owes MC Hammer an apology. And to all of the blog sites that posted what I said in the infancy stages, I hope that you can post this as well. So I can actually tell y'all why we represent and feel the way that we feel about MC Hammer. I love you.
Like, share, subscribe.